Michelle McLaren here, and I want to welcome you back to the ABCs of Health Insurance. I'm a licensed health insurance broker in the state of Texas with my own agency, Just the Facts Insurance Agency. I am also a licensed health insurance counselor for the state of Texas. I'm here to help explain the confusion that is health insurance, especially confusing for individuals sometimes. Insurance is evil. Let's turn evil into easy with answers. Today's letter is Q. Q is for quotes. Many people feel the most important job of an insurance agent is to get them a quote. Then you compare quotes and you go with the plan that's the cheapest or you feel is best. The problem is just a quote doesn't really look at all the details of what you need in order to ensure that you know all of the real options available. When the Affordable Care Act was instated, it has rules to try to make plans easier to understand, and they created these metal levels, bronze, silver, gold, and platinum, to group similar plans together. But it can still be very difficult to compare one plan to another. First, you have different networks. This is not just the network of the insurer itself, but networks within one insurer. Let's say you've been working for a company and you had Blue Cross insurance, and you say, okay, I've got to get my own plan now. I'm going to get Blue Cross because I know my doctor takes Blue Cross. Well, there's about 5 networks for Blue Cross of Texas, just in Texas. And some of these networks are only on grandfathered plans, some are only on group plans, large group, small group. And there's only one network that's available for individuals. It's the Blue Advantage HMO network, by the way. This means that just because your doctor was in network for your old Blue Cross plan doesn't mean they'll be in network for your new plan. The deductibles vary from plan to plan, and whether or not you have co-pays, how high your co-insurance is, this can make a huge difference. And sometimes you'll see a bronze and a silver plan with the same deductible, but they might have differences in that first dollar coverage. Do you have co-pays when you go to the doctor? Do you have to meet that deductible first? One of the most confusing parts to me is that max out of pocket. I think that should be the most important part of what you're looking at, because that's how much money you're going to be out of pocket if the bad thing happens. Isn't that what you have health insurance for? It's for just in case the bad thing happens. So for 2018, for an example, Blue Cross of Texas for individual plans, all of their individual plans except for their health savings account qualified plan had a same max out of pocket, $7,350 per person. So if you bought a gold plan and you had a much lower deductible, but a bad thing happened, you were going to be out $7,350 max. And if you had a bronze plan with a much lower deductible, bad thing happens, you're still going to be out $7,350. That may or may not be worth that extra premium that you're paying to have that higher level gold or silver plan. You've got to look at the whole picture. Do you take medications on a regular basis? How often do you go to the doctor? What happens after you meet that deductible? Sometimes it is better to pay a higher premium and get a lower deductible or those co-pays up front. But sometimes you're going to discover that if you look at the cost for the whole year, especially when you know you're going to meet your max out of pocket, it might be in your best interest to take the cheap plan, pay your share up front, and then have everything covered for the rest of the year. Pharmacy coverage is very different from company to company as well. Each company, insurance company, has its own formulary. So a medication may be a tier 2 drug on one plan, and so it costs maybe $40 copay, but on another plan, it's a tier 4 drug, a specialty drug, and you have to pay 50% of the cost. Tier 1, most companies have the same list of generics, but for some companies, those are free. And for some, they may cost you a copay or you may be paying what the cost is. It all depends on those levels. So you want to know what your prescriptions are going to cost. And of course, all of this leads to my favorite keyword, question. It is vital when choosing your health plan that you ask a lot of questions to find the right one. If you're working with an agent, they should be asking you a lot of questions. If all they ask is your date of birth and your zip code, they're not getting a lot of information about you, although that is all that's required to run a quote. This is your health. This is your life. Make sure that you take the time to get the research or pay someone to do that research so that you know what's going to serve you best and your family over the course of the whole year and going forward. We've got to get used to shopping around for medical care, medicines, and insurance. I mean, you'd go buy a car, you're going to shop around. Well, the average price of a car is somewhere between $30,000 and $40,000. That's the low end of most hospitalizations. So shouldn't you shop around for your insurance? Education is important, and that's why I created the Just the Facts Insurance Agency. I want to educate you. I want to know what you want to know. So leave questions in the comments. Subscribe to my other videos. And remember, it's Just the Facts Insurance. Just the facts you need to protect those you love.